Shout out to everybody out there on White Street. You already know what it is. Salute to everybody.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to SteveBussaGS, and we got our very first ever interview with RK Gold. RK, how you feeling today?
Feeling like a baked potato, man.
Fucking awesome. That's exactly what I wanted.
Oh, yeah. No, I thought that was the style we were gonna go for this podcast. The two baked potatoes.
I'm not ready to be online baked yet. I can't see how that's gonna go well. That one time I jumped in your live was it. So just so you guys know, the way that this works is I gave RK kind of like an outline of the type of stuff I wanted to go over for talking points. I want to break this up into 3 different parts. So the first part is going to be all about like channel relations. Second part is all going to be about him as both an entrepreneur and a personality as far as the YouTube platform goes, as well as any businesses he wants to plug. And then the last parts are we're going to pick his brain on like favorites and really try to get some controversial opinions out of him because he's a pretty tight-knit guy. I want to see what I can get out of him that we can actually make some interesting content out of. How's that sound, buddy?
Hashtag meme me.
Sounds good. All right, so originally you just popped up on my Discord one day. I actually didn't know who you were. I had never heard of you prior to you being there. You showed up on Discord one day and things were like pretty much just like chill from that point forward. How did you find out about me or the channel, or like what was the relationship there?
I had recorded quite a few Snow reaction videos, so I know quite a few Snow fans, and you put out a reaction complimenting her, but not enough. And they got mad at you for not complimenting her enough. So I saw your video and I was like, it's really not that bad, and I joined your Discord.
Fair enough.
That's pretty much the whole story. I mean, we didn't really start talking though until after you started reacting to the Grade and Square stuff. I would say, because we definitely knew each other after Snow, but it wasn't until after Gray that we actually started talking.
Cool. And when you first seen the channel and everything like that, like was it something you were into? Did you like it? Like what was your first impression of just like the style of reaction that we have here all together?
I really liked the scorecard because I thought it made you stand out. It offered some objectivity, even though it's still ultimately a subjective scorecard. It still offered like the idea that you're quantifying music to some degree. To make it measurable, which I really like. I love measurable results. So I like that with the conversation where you said something like, okay, am I good now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Then we had this one conversation where you said you really appreciated me because I was more academic, where you catch bars, but you didn't want to offend, like you didn't mean any offense by it. And I was like, oh no, it's cool, but secretly took like major offense to it.
I actually have that effect on a lot of people. You're not the first person to tell me that.
It just set out to destroy you. No, no, but so as far as like initial reaction, really dug your scorecard. Then I really liked that you reacted to Gray, and I appreciated that a lot because I think he's a dope artist. And then I watched your reaction to Gray, and I remember just thinking like, is this guy, I get it. You're a rapper, and you're saying how because you're a rapper, you're more in tune to catching bars. And I was just like, come on, man, compliment Gray more than yourself. And so I went to a period of thinking you were a douche. And then I realized, oh, wait, no, he's just a really nice guy. And all of my prior opinions went out the window.
Lo and behold, you were right when you thought I was a douche.
Yeah, so basically I went from thinking interesting to douche to good guy in a relatively short amount of time.
And a shout out to Grade and Square too.
Shout out Grade and Square.
That's dope when you have like mutual YouTubers who are bringing other people together. Like that's the whole point of like really doing the reaction channels and like kind of like getting out for like different audiences and stuff like that, putting people on to stuff they never heard before. So that's dope that happened that way. Now I started doing my own reactions personally because I don't have, there's no one out there that I've watched that exactly resembles my opinions. Like if there was someone I could watch where I would be like, cool, this person and I have the same exact, like we know when to pause, when there's a bar. We both like the same style of rap to where I could be in an echo chamber there. You know what I mean? Like I probably never would have did this originally. and then like getting irritated at that when I was like, I think it was like a Tom McDonald one or something like that, where I got pissed off watching someone's reaction, and I'm like, how are you not pausing at that Chris Benoit line? Like everybody went over it, and I was just like, I got mad. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it myself. Now, when you watch me, would you say that I'm too critical, or that, because I know, like you said, he's kind of a douche, and I am a little bit harder, you know what I'm saying, than most.
I thought that because I'm biased to Gray, because I'm friends with him. Like me thinking you were a douche was less than 2 seconds. As far as like, do I think you're overly critical? No, not at all. I think you're honest, and I think that is what makes you stand out as a reactor on the platform. You're honest. You're not just trying to siphon fans off of different artists. You're bringing them there. I mean, you do initially get fans when you ultimately like their artist's work, but you're keeping them there, and you're keeping them interested in you and not just your reactions to someone that they love or that confirmation bias by being honest. So essentially, you're going from like to respected. That's sort of the relationship I see with your fans.
Cool. Anything else about what artist am I sleeping on right now, off the top of your head?
Oh God! I mean, I don't think you're reacting to enough One Take Timmy. I don't think you're sleeping on him because you love Montana and FGE, but I don't think you're reacting to enough of him.
I am sleeping on him 1,000% because he's not on my channel yet. So like I'm actually not familiar with most of Montana 300's like crew or nothing like that. Like Montana 300 was actually a new person to me that I got introduced to probably within the last 3 months. And I just fell in love very hard and very quickly with him in the last 3 months. So yeah, like that's like his whole crew, the whole FGE is called.
Yeah, FGE, Fly Guy Entertainment.
I'm not familiar with any of them. I still have like that whole catalog to dive into. It's like a clean slate for me.
You should start with the ciphers. One Take hops on 8 and 9. There's 9 ciphers total at the moment. But you should check them out. That's how I got introduced to everyone in that crew. Real great starting point, dope lines, and Timmy absolutely steals the show in 8 and 9.
Yeah, I'm absolutely down with that. I cover a lot of actually ciphers that they do out there.
Shout out South Africa. South Africa, we love you.
Dead ass. My South African fan base is probably like, I like them more than my own family, and I hope my family's watching this and hears that.
We're coming to South Africa to record an episode next year.
Actually, so it's funny you said that. I was on live, and I've gotten asked this question like 3 times, like, would I ever go to South Africa? And actually, like, I started making plans, like I'm not gonna go for no reason. When I go, it'll be for like a show or something like that, and then like just like do a live there and literally do reactions live from SA, and I think that'd be fucking dope. All right. Last question on the channels. Give me one piece of advice to improve my channel.
To improve your channel?
Yep.
I don't know. You're growing like 100 times faster than me. Your views are like 1,000 times more than mine. I don't have any advice for you. What's some advice for me?
Well, that's hurtful. Huh. So I get no advice? None? I was hoping to use this as a way to steal some techniques here or something like that.
Oh God, I mean, what works for me is it pales in comparison for what works for you. I mean, if I find an artist, I tend to do more deep dives. If you wanted to do more deep dives, if you find fanatical fans, they appreciate deep dives. They like when I do my deep dives for NF specifically, because I feel like I go the deepest with him. I know that those deep dives, they're not going to do as high of like view counts per se as some of my more popular videos, but just because they're like long. Like I have one that's over 40 minutes long, and it's for Leave Me Alone. So it does all right on the views, but I know every single person checking that out pretty much is a diehard NF fan, and they just really appreciate this very elaborate perspective on their favorite artist. They appreciate someone really taking the time to appreciate an artist that they love and invested so much energy in. So maybe the incorporation of a deep dive or two.
So when you say deep dive, assume I have no idea what that means. Because actually, I think I watched like 20 minutes of an NF deep dive that you did on your channel. But for someone who's like not familiar with you whatsoever, what is a deep dive? What are the things that you look for specifically when doing a deep dive? And I guess my thing is like, I think that that's what sets you apart from other people. So like, what would you say, like from your perspective, are like the big differences in your deep dives versus one of the, like, I'm not trying to give no one else shine, but one of the larger reactors that are out there?
Um, I mean, they're longer. I think that's a pretty safe answer to say. As I said, I have like a 41-minute one on Leave Me Alone. So it's as far as safe answers, I can say they're longer. I can also say that as far as the deep dives themselves, I don't want to compare directly to another reactor out there, but how I look at my deep dives, I look at the base content, like the surface level content of the song, get all of the images out of the way, what they are trying to say, their internal versus external dialogue and conflicts, then dive into the metaphoric language, the similes, the metaphors, the analogies, and then move into the actual rhymescape and soundscapes. When I'm in that zone, that's when I start breaking down cadence, flow, melody, the instrumental, and of course the visuals as well. Because if they do have a music video, chances are they have visual elements in there that are meant to enhance the song, not just meant to go on YouTube so they can get more views. Specifically with someone like NF, he's very deliberate with the choices he makes in his music videos with a lot of recurring themes. Fans want to know what you think when you see those recurring themes.
So I think everything that you just said is amazing. Just so you know, like I think the fact like here's how I look at it. I don't look at it as a reactor because as a reactor, I'm very competitive and I just think that I'm better than everybody and blah 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 because that's kind of like the mind space I feel like you have to be in when you're competitive, right? From a fan perspective, seeing a reactor take the time to go and break down all of those things about an artist that I care about, right? Like that would be enough to buy me in like right then and there. Like if you took a Joe Budden verse and I watched you break down a Joe Budden verse from top to bottom, I could watch that for 40 minutes and not get tired of that easily, right? So like I guess how I want to flip this is doing this, does that make you look down more on those who just do surface reactions? Like,
Fuck
do you
no.
feel like they're
Fuck
not
no.
doing their due diligence?
I think they're smarter than me because they're able to put out more videos than me, get more views than me, and get more fans than me. I think they're doing plenty. I would never say that they're not doing enough. It's like it all. Everyone has different tastes. I wouldn't say that someone's wrong for listening to mumble raps. I wouldn't say someone's wrong for listening to reaction channel that's meant more on the enjoyment or the I don't know, deconstruction of a song. Like I think that we all are on YouTube. We're investing our time for entertainment that we see fit, and we all are entertained in different ways. As long as it's either entertaining or educational, it's not a waste of time or humorous.
I appreciate the diplomatic answer with absolutely zero edginess to it whatsoever. Plain and safe, archive.
Man. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna like go for one. Here's a hot take. I don't watch that many reaction channels. So.
You know what I did before I started doing it myself? I've watched maybe 5 reactions since starting my channel.
Well, you're better than most.
Aw.
Oh, appreciate you. No, I like to think that I'm sort of the less talented stoner version of Fantano.
I've never even heard of him.
He's nerdy white guy. Just he does more music reviews than reactions.
Okay, so I do like the review style versus the reaction. So like that's one of the things I want to get into is being big enough that I can put other people onto my music. I did 5 of them total so far, but I'm gonna make like an entire series out of it where it's just like they put me on the music all the time. Now I want to put them onto the stuff that I listen to daily. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope. I would look into that. All right, so we're gonna go into more about you as like a persona, you as a reactor, and everything like that. Give me like your bio rundown, where you're from, how you got your name, what your channel represents, just like the basic info.
Okay, so basic bio: from Buffalo, New York, moved to New Orleans, Louisiana. Got my name when I was still in music. I was really bad frontman for a group that was trying to be the next Beastie Boys. I wanted to go by Arcade. I thought Arcade looked way too pretentious, so I went with RK because it kept that same sound but looked so much sleeker. Gold just because it's close to my last name. Also, growing up, a lot of people called my name's Ari. A lot of people called me Ari Gold because of Entourage. Just that time, so I just kept the gold as well. So that's the breakdown of where I'm from, where I currently live, New Orleans, and how I got my name. Credentials: bachelor's degree in English from University of Maryland, master's degree in economics from University of Buffalo. So basically everything that has nothing to do with music. It's then the actual. What was the third one? The brand of the channel.
like, yeah, like, what would you say, like, your channel stands for? What is, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is it that you hope that your channel gives off or represents when people watch you?
I think one of my biggest weaknesses is I'm still not entirely sure. And I think that's a weakness I need to address. I can say that one of my goals for this channel is to get big enough where I can start spotlighting more independent artists, because I do personally have issues with larger publishing entities, whether it be in any form of entertainment, whether it be in film, music, or publishing. And I want to help independent artists be able to sustain livings without the assistance from large corporations.
I mean, that's awesome. I think there's definitely, like, I think when you talk, you're so humble that I feel like you almost don't give yourself enough credit with things. This isn't the first time I've said this to you either, but, like, for instance, how many subs are you at right now?
I mean, I was at 1490 yesterday, so I feel more comfortable saying that. But then South Africa decided to like bless me, and now I'm at 1621.
All right, so you got 1,600 subs, right? There are going to be a number of people who are doing YouTube who have less than 1,000 subs, who are going to hear you say, I still have no idea what my brand is, what direction I'm going in, and stuff like that. And that's going to be inspirational to someone who's like, man, I wish I was at 1,600 subs. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and they're putting some, like, because I was like, I've only been doing this for like 2.5 months now. And I remember very vividly. I appreciate it. Like, it's more about you. Don't worry about me. It's more about you. But like, I can remember being at 100 subs and you coming into my Discord and me being like, fuck, this guy, like, what is he doing? It's so good. Like, he's at 1,400 subs. Like, when you're there, it feels like nothing. But I'm telling you, like, you saying stuff like that is going to inspire. There's going to be a lot of reactors who are under 1,000 subs, or not even reactors, just YouTubers in general, who are going to hear you say things like, oh my God, like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm still learning the ropes and stuff like that. That's going to be inspirational to them. Like, that's dope. I think you should give yourself more credit for that.
I still don't even know how to operate OBS. I still don't know how. I can barely edit my own videos. Y'all are going to be just fine. If reactors want to like get a shout out on my channel, just reach out to me. I'll do it. We can smoke together over Skype.
Oh, I didn't know that was an option. All right. Who do you think is your target audience?
Well, I can actually tell you who my target audience is currently based on the podcast that I'm doing with Gray, because they're the ones that are actually listening to my voice week in and week out. And Spotify is fantastic. Their analytics.
You're breaking up a little.
So I know. Am I back now?
Yep, now you're good.
I know it's mostly men. So Spotify has my target demo, primarily men between the ages.
You're talking about analytics. I'm not talking about the analytics. I'm talking about, like, for your opinion, right? Who do you try to talk to? What is the audience that you would want to capture, to look to you, that you feel like you're having a conversation with?
I prefer music nerds over like over I don't know, not the action oriented almost dangerous fandoms that you run across across different genres of entertainment.
Oh,
what was that?
I didn't say anything. Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were sneezing like some comic convention in there as far like for dangerous fandoms. Yeah, I just Snow, got it. Now I heard you. Yeah, I prefer the nerds, the people that are coming in here trying to break apart, I don't know, what exactly it is in the song that they like, not just that they liked it and wanting you to compliment it. So if a bar really stands out or a sound really stands out, I want to connect with the people who are like, why?
Okay, so you're just people who like the deep dive.
People who like deep, I guess I should say people who are curious about music. That should be that's more along the lines of what I'm looking for.
What music goes over really, really well with you? So like since you just said that, like you said a couple things so far that kind of like resonated with me, because you were like, I don't make fun of people for liking mumble rap and things like that, right? So for me on my channel, the way that I do this is I have Goonies in my Discord where I want to do something, but I will send them to go listen to it first, because
Goonies never say die.
they know what I like. They know what'll score high and what won't, right? So like if I want to listen to something that ends up being mumble rap and I don't know that, I'm just going to trash it for 10 minutes. You know what I mean? And then like nobody benefits from that necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad for liking what they like. So I try to target the stuff that I'm into, right? What music goes over best on your channel? Like what is the type of music? How would you describe it versus like something you would trash versus something that you would yourself enjoy and would deliver a good breakdown on?
Well, the music that goes over well on my channel as of today is Nasty C. Shout out South Africa, we love you. As far as like music that goes well on my channel, I mean, it's funny you coughed and said Snow, but I think Snow and NF are the bread and butter of my have been the bread and butter of my channel. I think that those are the fans that simultaneously their artists are popular and slept on at the same time.
That's interesting.
Like,
I watched the Crooked Eye Snow interview, and I think she would agree with you on that description.
Yeah, I think that they have really energized fan bases and really big fan bases, and they're growing, but they're not growing as fast as their talent is or is worth. So they're rightfully underrated, while at the same time, I mean, NF he had the #1 album when The Surge came out. It even outperformed Chance the Rapper's. I forgot what the album was. So it's tough to say a guy like that's underrated.
Everybody else.
Yeah. So it's tough to say a guy like that is underrated, while at the same time he still has that underdog mentality. So they have been the bread and butter of my channel. I would say Montana of 300. I know will.
All right. I don't think that's what I'm talking about. I don't mean like what's gone over well. I mean for you personally, like hypothetically, if you were to do a scorecard, right?
Yeah.
What is the type of music that would score high for you? Not for I don't care about the views. I don't care about the subs, nothing like that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like your personal opinion. What is the stuff that you look and seek out for musically versus not?
What I should say is, I mean, I think part of the reason why the views are so well is that I like them. I think that shines through on the reactions. I think that's why they score so well. Because there is some symbiotic relationship between myself and those who watch my videos. It's not just, I mean, if it was just the music, they'd be better off just clicking the link in the description and going over and watching it.
I agree 1,000. Do you get the comments where it's like, "Oh, you pause and talk too much"? Like, fuck you, go watch the goddamn video yourself. Like,
I used to. Well, actually, you know what? I got those comments a lot when I started out. Here's something for the channels that are smaller than me. I got that comment a lot when I was starting out, and I thank them for it. I didn't listen to them. I kept going. I don't get those comments that often anymore. I'm sure I will after every milestone, because new people will get introduced to me. But if you just stay consistent, the people who like it will stay, and the people who don't like it will go, and your audience will find you.
So you just said, like, you know, as you hit like different milestones and stuff like that, as you start to grow, right? Let's assume that you are going to get some type of a boost off of this, right? I know you have like a lot of the fans from South Africa that are just catching you now. You know what I'm saying?
Out South Africa, we love you. We're coming.
What video would you say is a great introductory video for people who are unfamiliar with your style? That like they'll see this interview, want to get a taste of what it is that you do, that you would want to direct them towards?
Either Montana of 300 Chirac or Montana of 300 Chirac in New York, or versus New York. Basically, any of my Montana of 300 ones, but I would say Montana of 300 Chirac.
And while you were talking about like milestones, what has been like the most fulfilling moments so far in your career? First of all, how long have you been doing YouTube for?
Okay, I've been doing YouTube for a little over a year. I started off with book reviews, which I liked doing. Didn't like the book community very much. Loved music. Saw that you can, do okay with reaction channels. A lot of rappers were doing it. A lot of YouTube rappers who I was watching. Basically, I got into rap reactions because I saw a Crypt video. So Crypt got me into reactions. Then I really started actually doing reaction videos, and this is how my channel initially took off, during the Screwface Upchurch beef, and I followed that, and that's when I got a lot of my views to start, and that's how I got a lot of my boosts to start. So if you're starting out and you see some beef or some disses going on, hop on that.
Clout chasing, baby.
Yeah, well, I mean,
clout chasing.
Yeah, don't suck anyone's dick to like try and be their friend or siphon their fans off. You got to be objective. To this day, I still score that 3-1 Upchurch, but I think Screw had the best diss of the bunch with the round 3 victim quotes. But you got to be objective. A lot of reactors during that beef were picking sides before tracks had even dropped. And it was very obvious on that regard. So I do think that the objectivity stood out a little bit on my channel.
You know what? I think I can't speak too intelligently on this because I didn't watch the interaction myself. I've only actually ever seen like one Upchurch song, because I don't actively seek out like, yeah, or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not something I've ever gotten into. But with a beef like that, from what I know about Upchurch and what I know about Screw, do you think that it's safe to say that like you probably could formulate your opinion before listening to it as to which one you're going to enjoy more? Because their styles are so vastly different, in my opinion, with my very limited knowledge of Upchurch. But like, if there was a battle between a country artist and a rap artist that I like, I don't think I even need to hear too much of it to kind of be like, I can tell you I'm probably going to like this one more. Do you think that it was closer than that, or do you think that that was a safe assumption?
I think part of the reason it came out so skewed in Upchurch's favor, now I already said that I scored the final score 3-1 Upchurch, and I also already said, I'm going to make it clear, Victim Quotes by Screw was by far the best diss track of any round by any of them. So best diss goes to Screw, most wins goes to Church. That being said, I don't think you could go in beforehand already picking a winner. I do agree, for the reason that you said that you could. Their styles are so different, you just don't know what's going to resonate on a diss. There were some times that that like Church's fans were really giving him a break, and I also have to say it was incredibly skewed because he was such a bigger artist. I think at the time Screw was like 100-something thousand or 200,000 subs, and Church was at 1.5 at the time, or 1.5 million. So they were disliked.
Yeah, much?
Oh, he's over 2 now. Yeah.
I had no idea that he had more than 100,000 subs. I'll be honest with you.
No, he's fucking huge, and that really put the like a lot of reactors, from what I could tell, a lot of the smaller ones especially, were really riding hard for him because all of his fans are incredibly energized and incredibly enthusiastic and rewarding them with wins. I certainly saw it when I scored a win for him. And it's cool. I got to say, I had to, after that beef, I did a couple more Upchurch reactions, but I had to back away from that that fandom, not because they did anything wrong. It was just basically, as a reaction channel, you become the music that you react to in a way. I'm not saying that you lose your identity entirely, but you know it. You get your requests, right? Mm-hmm. You get your requests, and you want to fulfill those requests to make the people watching your channel happy. If you continue down a rabbit hole of music that doesn't regularly excite you, you will get burned out. I was going to get burned out if I kept going down that rabbit hole, so I had to distance myself. I stopped getting the recommendations.
Whoop,
now the recommendations I get.
Break it up.
Ah, shit. When do I need to go back to?
You're good. It was just a second there.
Okay, so did you hear everything, or do I need to repeat anything?
No, you're good. It was just a second.
Fantastic.
But so here's my question then. So you're saying that Upchurch's music did not resonate with you. You were not a fan of Upchurch as a whole.
Yes and no. He actually has some really dope tracks. I could not listen to an entire Upchurch album, though, I discovered. I was listening to a lot of songs by him that I liked based on the requests his followers were giving to me. I also was listening to some that I really did not like, and I said I didn't like one, and I still get hate to this day about disliking one of his tracks.
I believe it. So let me ask you, you got to keep it honest with this too. It's the whole point of doing an interview, right? So have you ever faked liking a song for any reason, but specifically because of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I can name it off the top of my head already. It was when I just first started out. Quadeca released a track about a fan who killed himself, and I did not like that song at all. I thought it was incredibly boring. But it was obviously a very emotional track. And
wait, you remember the name of it?
No, but it was him crying in the rain. I remember the thumbnail.
I think I like that one. So that's funny because I actually get into
a
it.
lot of people love that song.
Fans.
I didn't.
I didn't love it. I thought it was better than the one song of him that I had seen before that I trashed.
The thing is, Quadeca's a really talented artist, so I think I may have just like
talent subjective.
I think I wanted to like it because I do think he's an incredibly talented artist, and I think I really wanted to like it, and I really wanted to do more Quadeca, and I knew he was big, so I fake liked it.
Do you regret it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I like the video doesn't do well. The thing is, that's the video that taught me don't fake like shit because that video bombed. And I think it's because people knew that I was completely faking it because I'm not a good liar.
That's
So,
fair. Alternatively, who name an artist that you really dislike?
Logic.
Okay, so let's say Logic came out with a chat, well not a channel, with a track, but it was actually fire. Would you feature an artist that you dislike on your channel that had a good track, but that you don't normally like?
Yeah, absolutely. Because Logic does have some good songs. I think he peaked with his mixtapes prior to signing to Def Jam, and I think Under Pressure is his best album so far. But so I know he can create good music. I just have not heard good music in a very long time by him.
Okay. Do you think reactors fake reactions often?
Yes.
Is there anyone on the top of your head that you can think of that
No,
is like,
because I don't watch reactors that often. Like, I don't watch reactors that often because I can tell that they're faking it. Like,
so like one of my things that I talked about. Now you actually watched my Keep It 100 emotions of a reactor video,
I
and
actually watch a lot of your videos now. You and No Life Shack are the two I watch. I sometimes watch Crip as well. Um, I more like his music though. But as far as reactors, it's really you and No Life.
that's good company to be in. I appreciate that. Fuck,
But
where was I going?
you're so different, and I'm sorry. You were talking about reactors keeping it 100 and how I watched your keeping it 100 video.
Right. So like in the keeping it 100 thing, like we touch on a lot of different I touch on a lot of different topics on that. But one of them is like if you take someone like Shaq, which again I don't want to talk about specific reactors because this isn't to bash or praise anybody. This is more about your channel and your opinions. But like there comes a point where people start making a living off of this. Like your YouTube views are literally what's paying your rent. Your YouTube views are literally what's feeding your child. You know what I mean? Like so on and so forth. Do you think at some point you have to sell out? Like it's irresponsible almost not to?
No, I don't think so. I could be wrong. I think that maybe there are a couple songs that like. I think it's less out of necessity and more out of comfort. Like, I think maybe saying that you like a song that's brand new that you know is going to get you the views, and not wanting to deal with the backlash of disliking it. Because let's be real, if you dislike a really popular track, your video might actually do better because everyone wants to flood it with hate comments, and then you get more money potentially because you get more attention. So I don't think selling out per se is required. I definitely understand occasion.
You're breaking up, bro. You're back.
I definitely understand the occasional slip up. I don't think it's a requirement to sell out, but I definitely understand the occasional switch up.
All right, so let me pose the question like this then, because I can't wait to sell out. I'm very excited to sell out. Catherine Manning, who is someone that I used for YouTube SEO research before I got started, does a lot of things where she shows you what her CPMS are, how the analytics work, and how much money you can expect to make. She had a video do about 511,000 views, and based on her individual CPM, made about $3,600 off of it. All right. If someone was like, "Yo, I'll give you $3,600 to do this video," and love it, like emphatically, that you hated, and I'm not talking about. It's not like hateful material or nothing like that. It's like it's neutral music, but it's like genuinely not good. And they're like, "I'll give you $3,600 to love this video." What is your next move?
It's actually tough. And it's tougher than I thought because when you were saying it the entire time I was thinking it's easy money, of course I will. But honestly, the more I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I could. Only because I never really thought of YouTube as being a full-time career for me. So the idea of getting paid for it still feels kind of foreign to me. And if I were to start selling out like that, I might just like quit on the spot because it's like, what's the point?
You might quit YouTube or quit like outside jobs.
quit YouTube because it's just almost like, what's the point? Because $3,600 isn't enough to sustain a living, and then it takes all the joy out of what I'm trying to do. So while you were asking it, I originally thought, oh hell yeah, easy money, I absolutely will. The more I thought about it, the more I was like, I mean, let's be real. If it's like a 3-minute track, I only have to love it once, and that's that. I'm probably gonna go through with it, but it's not as slam dunk as I thought it would have been when you were asking the question.
What do you think is your price point?
I'm not like, my price point would be something that makes me quit my full-time job, because at this point in time,
No. I meant for the exact scenario we're talking about. So like I'm coming to you and I'm like, yo, I got a new track. Here's $50. Love it.
oh fuck no.
Right. So what's your price point where it's like I can no longer walk away from this?
I don't know, like $3,600 was tough, so I imagine it's not much higher than that.
Okay. So someone's like $4,000, like this gospel song, and
I probably don't need the $4,000 to like the gospel song. I love gospel.
like this mumble
I'm
rap.
just fucking. But I mean, I do like gospel. It's one of my favorite tents during Jazz Fest. Like this mumble rap. I mean, I probably would. I would also probably find a reason to like it genuinely, whether it be the production of the track, like whether it be the production of the track, some phrase in it or some metaphor that just really stuck out. I'm pretty sure I could find a way to milk it and give genuine praise to it.
Okay. All right. So moving on from that, because I kind of grilled you for a little bit about that.
Here's what it all goes down to. It goes back to what I said earlier. I'm a terrible fucking liar. So that's pretty much what it is. I'm a terrible liar. So I don't know how like successful I would be. Like y'all don't see how many times I have to pause my intro. I'm just like, oh my god, you fucking suck, and I like hit the reset button and do it all over again. Like I don't do that for the actual reaction, but it takes me like 20 takes to get my intro right.
No, I have days. I've gotten a lot better at it, and I get a lot more practice than you do too, because I'm doing more videos per day. But I have an entire folder. I was originally gonna put together like blooper reels of me just fucking up people's intros, and then it ended up like filling up. I'm gonna like run out of like memory on my computer because of these bloopers. But yeah, the intros and outros I struggled with for a while. Like once I get going, I can break stuff down because I love music. I get caught up into it. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, intros and fucking outros are.
Well, there's also no wrong way to break it down. You just hear something, you ask, why did I like it or why did I dislike it? And you can ramble as much as you want, and your opinion is what they came for. The intro and the outro is supposed to be this structured intellectual string of words that promotes your channel and tells people to follow you. If you sound like a fucking dumbass there, then it's not your opinion. You're just a fucking dumbass.
What has been your happiest point of your YouTube career so far?
Oh, I'm not going to share it right now live, but I'll share it with you afterwards when we're not recording.
Oh,
So
you're breaking up. You're
let's
breaking up.
happiest. Yeah, I saw that coming.
You were breaking up. We didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, no, I saw that I was breaking up because you started doing like this whole little stop motion thing. I was like, okay, it's gonna happen. I will share my happiest moment with you when we finish recording. I'll see if I can find my second happiest moment right now, because the happiest one is it has something to do with an unreleased project that I'm gonna be on.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were just gonna be like, nah, I fucked a fan, but nah, okay. So, unreleased project. So is it a collaboration?
No, it's an artist using one of my breakdowns for their album, and I'll share with you who it is afterwards.
That's fun.
Yeah, and it's an artist you like too. So, but as far as like going on my second favorites, I mean, yeah, it was the moment I started actually getting viewers that I wasn't sharing on, like, I don't share on social media at all anymore. I just let YouTube do all the work and promote my videos for me. When I started out and when I was doing the bookish material, I had to post on social media to get views, and external was my primary traffic generator. So I think when that finally transitioned to YouTube,
Who's your primary tractor?
before I started doing music, yes. Since
Wow.
I started doing music, no. Since I started doing music, it's the YouTube search terms.
I'm at less than 1%.
I'm at 0.8 on external.
Yeah, I was posting on Reddit, Facebook. I was sending stuff on Twitter. Like I was posting on everywhere, and I don't think I've ever had more than 1% from external.
Yeah, I don't share externally anymore. I just let YouTube do the work, and I think that the moment I forgot exactly when it was, but I just remember realizing, holy shit, I don't have to share my videos at all anymore. And I know when I look at it, there's going to be views, there's going to be likes, and there's going to be comments that I can reply to. And that's when I felt like, at the very least, it was a real hobby. Because it's still a hobby at this point in time.
I mean, are you monetized?
I have I have enough watch time and watch hours and followers to be monetized. I just haven't gone through with it.
Okay, so it's just a matter of going through the AdSense and everything like that.
Yeah, I'm really not in a hurry to. I mean, for one, most of my videos get copyright claimed anyway. Um, so it's just like, what's the point? I'll happily take sponsors down the line if anyone wants to like pay me to read off a script, but I don't really see the point in doing AdSense at this point in time.
Okay. Now you said based on like what you were just getting into, like you have a project coming up where someone's using you. That's a collaboration. Since I've known you, which has been a brief time, I know that you take place in charity events for like authors club that you're involved in. I know you have a podcast with Gray. You're doing your own YouTube reactions for music. You have you and I have talked personally about books that you're writing. You do a lot, right? Is there anything that you want to plug as far as just like things that you're working on right now or direction that you want to send somebody who's listening to you right now and find you interesting?
Well, if you find me interesting, the best place to go would be the Gray and Gold podcast, and that's available on any streaming service except YouTube at this point in time for podcasts. That's probably the best place to go, and you get the added benefit of a co-host who's infinitely cooler than I am with Grade and Square. As far as like the other projects are concerned, though, yeah, I write books. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with that, if I want to continue going the indie route or not. And then run a consulting firm where I try and put my master's degree to use so it wasn't a waste of money.
I think that's the American dream right now.
Yeah.
Don't waste your degree. All right. How about for future collaborations? Who would be like? Is there anyone that you are planning on? Like, I'm going to get big enough and I'm going to work with X, Y, and Z. Is there someone you have in mind that you want to collab with?
Ooh, like music artists?
No, it could be anything. Just like you try to make it on the YouTube platform since it's a YouTube interview.
Joe Rogan.
That's fair. I don't think anyone will fault you for that.
Fuck no. Yeah, Joe Rogan. If I'm going more on the YouTube side of things,
how about under 100,000 subs? Anybody under 100,000?
Oh God, I don't watch that many people under 100,000 at this point in time. You.
Fair enough. You just got really loud out of nowhere.
Oh, I went really close to the microphone.
All right, over $1 million.
Over 1 million? Shit. I mean, on reactions, shout out Shaq. As far as just like actual you. Oh, you know what? You know who's under 100,000 who I'd like to collaborate with? Brandon Sanderson.
I've never heard that name before. Who's that?
He's an author. He wrote the Mistborn trilogy. Well, there's 2 trilogies now. He wrote Stormlight Archives. He wrote the End of the Wheel of Time series after Robert. He's probably the top-selling fantasy author today. Maybe loses to George R.R. Martin with Game of Thrones, but he's certainly doing more. He's an incredibly gifted writer. I would love to have some conversation with him.
Cool. And that was going to be my next conversation. Like, if you had the opportunity for you, like, if you get on the Joe Rogan experience, like, what are the conversations that you would want to have? Like, what is the conversation you want the opportunity to do?
Ones that make me look good. No, as far as conversations themselves, I'm not sure. I mean, here's the thing that I love about the Joe Rogan show. It's not necessarily him, though I do think he's interesting. It's the guests he has on. So if I were to ever be on that show, I would want to be like a second guest and get to essentially co-host and talk to one of the cool people he brings on.
Who would be your ideal co-host then?
My ideal co-host on Joe? Well,
yeah.
Great. We already have that great chemistry. And also, and if I freeze up, I know Gray has my back. But if he's
you're looking for cheat codes.
Yeah. Well, I said anything that makes me look good, and I know Gray can help make me look good. If he's unavailable though, shit. fuck, I don't actually know. I mean, I think Chuck Palahniuk would be pretty cool to talk to in person.
Do you think Greg gets mad at you if you go on Joe Rogan Experience without him?
Yes, 100%. I think friendship would arguably be over.
I better get a plug. That's all I want.
Oh, you'd be my third co-host choice. It would go Gray, Chuck, you. Oh, you know what? Maybe replace Chuck Palahniuk with Chuck D. One of the Chucks.
So,
Chuck D or Chuck D.
All right. Curveball. We're throwing it off now, right? Have you had any YouTube beef yet?
No, worst I got was when Upchurch fans were like, I have this one that was like full on threatening me. That was kind of weird, but I haven't had any beef. Yeah, okay. Reaction's fucking weird. You get people like threatening you because you dislike a song.
Yeah. I had some good ones. I had somebody tell me my favorite to this day is somebody who's literally left me a comment that just said, "I subscribed to you just so I could unsubscribe." That was my favorite to this day. I sat there and I looked at that comment for like 15 minutes laughing my ass off because I respected it. As like, I'm a troll myself, so like seeing that was just like that was me at one point. I like this guy.
And that guy is going to become a creator one day. And he's gonna,
I'm going to go right under his say, "You should fucking quit, you loser." All right, so do you have a policy? Like, let's say you got into it with another content creator. Do you have a policy? Like, are you like, "I don't respond," or "I do respond, I'm ready for all the smoke"? Like, do you have a policy that exists for in the event that you get big enough that you start bumping heads with other creators?
Yeah, don't call me fat. I'm insecure about my weight. No. I don't know. I don't think I'm afraid of it. I'm not actively seeking it. I would request that you don't send bots to post links of like sexgirls.66.com in my posts because those are I have to spam those and it's just annoying. So maybe that's a policy. Don't spam my comments. At the very least, be mean.
Well, not policy for them, but policy on how you react to the animosity.
I mean, so it depends. If it's from a creator, I probably don't avoid it. I probably reach out to them first, see what's going on, see if it's just trying to get numbers up, and if it is, then we can script it and make it like WWE. And if it's not, then see if we can settle it like that. But I'm also not an idiot, and I know that beef can boost channels up. So if they want to go, I probably swerve into it, take what I can from the experience. That made me sound a lot worse than I intended, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
I understand what you're saying completely.
Yeah, if I'm not actively seeking it, but if it's unavoidable, and if they've already planted that flag and I'm that territory and risk that they're rolling their die to try and conquer, I mean, I'm gonna roll back.
So what is your plan to do? So you have another, let's call it a reactor, right?
Yeah.
Another reactor sees you, and they just put out a video. It's just called "Fuck RK Gold," and they're just like, "This dude's a loser. Don't watch him." Like, no real substance to what they're saying or anything like that. Just like shitting on you. Do you have a policy? What is your next move?
I probably just agree with them.
You're so self-deprecating.
Yeah, it happens. No, I mean, I already said I probably reach out to them, see if it's something that we can squash privately. If not, then I swerve into it, make a reaction video to that, like what KSI does to people who hate his music.
That's not a bad angle to go. All right. Do you plan on sticking with the same format that you have now, or are there any other ideas that you're looking to play with? So, like for me, I'm rolling out interviews right now. And interviews was something that I had to wait until somebody would give a fuck that I was going to interview them. You know what I mean? To get to that point. Do you have like different formats that you're looking to roll out when you hit different points? Or are you just like what you're doing? You want to do this until you're at 1 million? Like, what is the plan from a marketing standpoint?
From a marketing standpoint, I think I just want to keep this format going, only because I'm doing so many things off of YouTube as well, with the podcast, with the books. I'm on 2 nonprofit boards, and then work eats up my day. Also finished week 3 of P90X tonight, so I'm feeling sexy.
Hey. Shout out to P90X.
Shout out South Africa. Shout out P90X. As far as like actual content that I'd like to add, I mean, if I go the independent publishing route with my future publications, I might start incorporating some writing videos once I reach a certain milestone of, I don't know, maybe 50,000, maybe not 50, maybe 10,000 subs, I'll start doing some writing videos, because I feel like at that point I'm big enough where a small percentage of people might be interested in my personal life on top of just how I feel about their favorite artists.
Take a prediction right now that you can look back on when you're famous. How long from today do you think it'll take you to get to 10,000 subs?
Like 7 lifetimes, give or take. No, keep if I keep pleasing South Africa and maybe move up to Tanzania, hit up Nigeria on the out west, like probably in a month. If I go the smart, if I go like if I go the steady route though, and I try and build up the brand, maybe 18 months.
Okay, another year and a half. Not bad. Last question as far as persona you and YouTube and stuff like that goes. All right. How has COVID-19, the coronavirus, the riots, everything that's been going on, has that affected you in any way, shape, or form as a YouTuber? And if so, was it a positive or negative effect?
Okay. Well, those are very different things. So, COVID actually helped my YouTube channel because everyone was on YouTube and they were looking for content to consume. And I was giving it to them daily because I had the time. So, COVID helped my YouTube channel. And that sort of makes me sad now that I say it out loud, because it's a pretty awful experience to go through with the world, and to benefit from it, then saying it out loud makes me feel kind of dirty. The protests and the riots have not really had any impact on my channel. I feel like people knew my stance before then. So like I had already created those boundaries and people knew what to expect. Like people already knew beforehand, I support the protesters. People already knew beforehand that like I'm cheering up. I'm pretty happy and smiling when I see that police station in Minneapolis going up in smoke. Like fuck them. As far as I feel like most people sort of knew where I stood politically. So that has not impacted my my channel at all. And
do you have politics or religion infused into your brand at all?
Not at all. I mean, people know. People know I was raised. I feel like most people who have been paying attention to me for a while now know I was raised Jewish and know I'm more left leaning than anything, and have my master's degree in economics to show you why you're wrong. No, but in all seriousness, I don't think it's incorporated in my brand. I don't really want it incorporated in my brand, but it's visible. I don't hide it.
Okay. Now, I hop into Graydon Square's lives and stuff like that whenever I'm like editing and I see that he's on. From what I've heard, he's more right leaning.
He's more left leaning. He's just truly independent. But he's far more left. Like, I didn't mean to cut you off. He attracts a lot of right wingers because he's pro Second Amendment.
Okay. The question that I was going to get to was basically like, since you guys are on a podcast together, does that create more of a positive environment because you get both sides of the spectrum, or is that something like a topic you guys avoid, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
we swerve it. We get real feisty on the podcast. We get real. Every podcast episode, we get controversial in some way. We don't swerve away. That's why I said, as far as like everything I'm doing in life, the most interesting thing for the consumer would probably be the podcast, partially because of Gray. We talk about the riots. We talk about the protests. We talked about COVID. We talk about just about any controversial topic that you can think of. We're both also stoned during it, or no, we're sober during it, guys. We're sober.
Drugs are bad, okay?
Yeah. So it's yeah, you know, it's baked potato. It was the original baked potato before we did this interview. But no, I mean, we swerve into it. We get political, and I do think so far the response has been very positive, because I think people do appreciate the honesty. I think people appreciate the discourse, the conversations that, because Gray, I personally do think he's, from my experience, you know, he's not more left leaning. He's truly independent in every sense of the word. And even if he agrees with you, he's still going to question. And I think that people appreciate that our opinions are constantly questioned on the show. And
if I wanted to get involved in the podcast, right? What is a good entry episode?
Oh, I mean, honestly, start from the beginning and just go right through and enjoy the journey. If you want our most powerful interview, I would probably say episode 8. That's Brandy Williams. She's a 20-year educator in Louisiana and the CEO of Generation Success. And she talks about education gaps and essentially just the disadvantage of the Black community and the high-risk community in New Orleans. And I mean, I'm very silent that interview because she and Gray came from very similar backgrounds. Just she's from New Orleans, he's from Compton. And they just really connected. So I would highly recommend that episode 8 of the Gray and Gold podcast.
Nice. You know what I wanted to talk about too? That actually wasn't in the notes at all. So go a little bit off the rails with this. The use of Discord. So I didn't even know about Discord before I got into YouTube. Were you already on Discord? Like, did you already know about it prior to starting the channel, or like, how did that come about?
I knew about it because I have a friend who runs a book club on Discord very successfully, and I saw how simple it is to use. So I created it funny enough, actually, I will say Upchurch fans were smart enough to tell me to make a Discord for my channel. And so I was able to ask my friend about starting one and what to do with that.
Nice.
So that was sort of my introduction. I didn't start one with the channel. I was told to because people wanted to communicate with me more. And yeah, I love it. I think it's really added to the channel because I'm able to interact with people constantly.
Do you have like a goal for the Discord portion of what you do?
Not really, no. I mean, I would like to automate a lot of it. I still need to figure out how to do that. But as far as the goals are concerned, those are more YouTube oriented.
Okay. Who's your favorite person on your Discord?
I don't have one. I honestly don't. I mean, I might say Sarah because she's always so fucking nice and supportive constantly.
Sarah.
What? Sarah's just the absolute best. But as far as like favorites, nah, they all bring their own shit. I mean, Bohob, he's constantly recommending shit to me. Nothing is obviously always there and always down to talk about anything. I mean, shout out Nothing as well. He's someone who I could just randomly out of the blue ask if anyone is watching a Ulysses S. Grant mini-series or mini docu-series on the History Channel. And he's like, fuck it, I'll do it. And then we were able to talk about that. So
Nothing was one of my favorite people before he bailed on me maliciously and is no longer in my Discord.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he broke my heart. But it had nothing to do with me. He got into it with somebody else on a Discord and like bowed out gracefully instead of dealing with it, instead of like blocking somebody. But yeah, that hurt me a little bit.
Did not mean to bring that one up then.
Yeah, sore spot there.
My bad. Yeah, my bad. Anyway, I like my whole Discord so far, thankfully. Maybe it's a sign that it's just too small.
Would you recommend a newer YouTuber doing that as like part of their brand, like creating the Discord along with the page and growing both simultaneously?
Yes, and the primary reason is people don't always get your YouTube notifications. They will get your Discord notifications when you have a latest upload. My bad. I'll start over.
So bad.
Okay, I'll start over. Am I good now?
Yeah, you're good now, but we didn't hear any of your answer for that.
Perfect. I would 100% say that you should start a Discord. Your subscribers on YouTube will not always get your notifications for latest uploads, but they will most likely get your notifications on your Discord latest uploads. So if you want to get people to your channel when you initially, like the only external source that I do, I lied earlier when I said I don't share at all. I share on Discord.
I don't really consider that external because that's still part of your internal network. I feel like, at least for me, like I like even when I mentioned the stuff that I did earlier, I didn't even say Discord because it doesn't register in my brain as like, because it's not for like the public. You know what I mean? Like Facebook is a public domain, whereas like your Discord is like your family. You know what I'm saying? It's like your community.
So it's an extension of your channel. I can see that. And it can even connect
exactly
to your
how
channel.
I look at it.
Yeah, and it can even I mean, I almost look at Discord as a place for, now I'm not saying I have any, but down the line, if I ever do, it's a place for your diehard fans to really become your diehard fans.
Who's your number one fan?
I mean, I think my number one fan is the one that broke your heart so far. So I feel like
Nothing's actually how I found out about you before you joined the Discord. Him and John Henry had mentioned that you were one of the reactors that they liked.
Dude, shout out John Henry.
Oh yeah, John Henry. He's one of my Goonies. He does all my recon for me. So like he'll go and like
John's
listen to stuff ahead of time.
You just popped into one of my comments the other day. I was really excited to see him, or it
Yeah.
might have been yesterday. Yeah, no,
He's super dope.
I really appreciate him. So as far as
People like him and Nothing for me have made this entire experience so much more enriching. Just having those regulars, you know what I mean?
and there are people who only know you and care about you, or at least initially cared about you for the content you're creating.
I think John Henry wanted me for my body, but yeah, I could see that. Definitely the content.
Well, you created that body by keto. So,
Hey, I'm actually back on keto starting tomorrow. So like today was more of like a low cal fast, but yeah, I'm back on my shit starting tomorrow.
is it easy or difficult? I was looking into it because I just want to drop 10 more. What?
Like it depends on you as a person. So like for me personally, I think it's super easy because I can eat bacon wrapped chicken and steaks every day and I don't get tired of it. If you're not a heavy meat eater and
I'm vegetarian,
then don't do keto at all. Like from a science standpoint, it'll actually be bad for you. There is such thing as vegan keto, but you end up missing out on so many necessary nutrients and shit like that because of like you can't have fruits and there's like you can't have starches and shit like that. I would recommend for you if you want to do weight loss, just go with a 1,200 calorie diet. And it doesn't matter what you eat, as long as you stay under 1,200 calories, you will still get the results that you want. I guarantee it.
I mean, I'm not too stressed. Like last I weighed myself, I was what? Depends on the day. I'm as low as 193 and as high as 197. I just want to get down to 185, so I'm not that far off.
You're actually like where my goal is. So my goal was 210. I was big. I was 252 when I started.
How tall are you? I mean, you look great.
5'10" and a half, 5'11".
Oh, you're a little taller than me. I'm 5'10", flat.
Yeah, I got half an inch on you, 2 inches in heels.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you're brave enough to admit you wear heels. I actually was in a Rocky Horror Shadowcast back in undergrad, and I was Brad Majors for one show, wore heels, fucking knocked it out of the park, man. Heels were easy, made them a bitch.
That's an interesting parallel that we have. I find I like talking to you because I don't think we have a lot in common. I feel like you and I have a good stark contrast that creates like organic good conversation. But I'm actually a huge musical fan. I am like a theater nerd. I love the shit out of fucking musicals.
What are your favorites?
Off the top of my head, Repo the Genetic Opera has like had like the #1 spot for a while. And then like Sweeney Todd and Chicago have always just been like.
I hate Chicago. I love Sweeney Todd.
You hate Chicago?
Well, you know what it is? I think it's a pretty good soundtrack. Well, not pretty good. I can think of a couple good tracks on that soundtrack. I got so bored seeing it live.
Okay, so I haven't seen it live, but the actual movie I'm in love with.
Got it. The movie. I haven't seen the movie. I've only seen the play.
Gotcha. So you're fucking pretentious. All right, so we're going to go into the last part of the interview. This is the part that I care most about. This is where we go. We try to get RK to say some controversial shit. We want to dig into him as a person. So this is not about RK Gold as far as like the YouTube channel or nothing like that goes. This is you as an individual, your own personal opinions on these things, all right?
You mean I haven't been controversial at all lately?
Nah. I want the hot takes. I'm here for the sauce. Top 5 artists that are on your playlist right now.
Top 5 artists on my playlist right now. Let's see. I mean, I saw this beforehand and I'm already blanking. I've been listening to some Tombstone. I've been listening to some Gray, obviously, and I think Sci-Fi is fantastic. Shit. Let me just.
There's some controversy with that coming up.
I binged the new one take. Like, it's tough for me to come up with a top 5 because I'm just constantly not just listening to music, but like listening to new music to sort of listen to. I haven't been replaying anything lately. Like I really dig MGK's Bloody Valentine. I think he really taps into that whole you want to be in 3rd grade listening to Blink-182 again vibe. And I don't mean that like negatively. I think
did you listen to the tracks I sent you?
Not yet.
Hey Jones.
Yeah, not yet. I sort of, after you sent me those tracks, I had to finish up with 2 meetings for the day and podcast with Gray, but I was going to do it tonight. As far as like, I mean, and the thing, I don't even just listen to hip hop either. Like I listen to a lot of when I'm not doing reactions, I listen to a lot of jazz. I listen to a lot of New Orleans music as well, some Cajun.
So far, I got Tombstone, Gray, and Sci-Fi. I need 2 more.
Oh, fuck. I mean, and I don't even feel comfortable giving them. You know what I'll say? I'll say guys that I can listen to regularly with no complaints. Kanye West, old Kanye. Mac Miller, Tribe Called Quest, Wu-Tang Clan, and fuck it, I'll keep Gray.
Look at you, keeping the podcast alive. Who's the most overrated artist right now?
Logic.
Is he?
I mean, if everyone said he sucked, I'd still say he's overrated.
All right, take Logic out since you got a bias. I don't think Logic's actually. I've never heard anybody praise Logic before, so I don't know that he's overrated.
Oh, I got a hot take for you then. You're gonna love this one. KSI.
Really? I admittedly I can't listen to him. I don't know. I don't feel like that's a hot take. I think his personality is cool. I like him as a person. I have like there's a lot of stuff that I don't say right now because of mutual ties and friends and shit like that I have working specifically with like my guy Hunter Kufis. Shout out to Kufis. KSI is one of those people where it's like I haven't dove into the UK rappers yet because I can't really understand what the fuck they're saying. And like the accents for me, like literally I just haven't found anyone yet to where sonically it sounds good to me. So it's hard for me to like judge his music and say if it's good or not. And I think everyone lies about liking it. I'm gonna be honest, like I think that his reactions specifically are full of clout chasing. If you look at the stuff that that someone that covers him says, right? Insert whatever reactor you want, right? If you take a different reactor or that reactor with a different artist that is very similar to KSI, I think they will shit on them, and then KSI will do the same thing, and then they will kiss their ass because of the fan base. And that's one of the places where I think it's most visible is him specifically.
So you think because he does reactions to reactions and he reacts to people who are negative and critical of him, he has sort of eliminated negative reactions and has created a bias in his favor?
No, I didn't even know he did that. I'm talking. I don't watch him. Like I just don't.
Okay,
know.
got it. No, I was under the impression that based on what you just said, that's what you were talking about. No, I do agree that I do think that as far as we talked about this earlier in the podcast, as far as potentially lying to siphon fans off of a large fan base, I would not be surprised if reactors.
Ooh, you're breaking up. You're gone. Actually,
I'm not gonna say lie. Okay, am I back?
You're back.
I'm not gonna say reactors full on lie or don't or think he's terrible, but I do think they might give him more leeway to appease the large fan base they can tap into if they like his stuff.
I'll say it. If you're watching this and you're one of those reactors, I think you're full of shit, and I don't respect you for it.
No, I'm sure there are people who genuinely like him. I mean, I can't go that far, and I'm not only am I sure that there are people who genuinely like him, I'm sure there are a lot of people who genuinely like him because he like,
oh, absolutely. You can't get 2 million subs without a lot lot of people liking everything.
I'm not even talking about his YouTube. I'm going to go to his Spotify real quick and see what his monthly listeners are. So like I can't say he's trash. I can say he's a 4.7 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Like there's not 4.7 million people who are lying in the hopes that like they'll get famous for liking him.
I think here's my you're right, because what you just that was an excellent way to address that in general. I think, and this is me being ignorant and biased and being fully aware that I'm a narcissist and think my way of the world is the right way. I get that. I think that majority of them are people who are either in the UK or someplace else that are more prone to hearing that dialect? Because anyone that I don't know anyone personally in East Coast rap scene, right, who would listen to the very 2 or 3 songs maybe that I've heard from him, where like has nothing to do about his pen game, nothing to do about anything else, other than the fact that like we can't listen to that and it just doesn't sound good. You know what I'm saying? And like to see all these reactors, and there's a lot of them. There's not, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody specifically, but like it's just he's got one of those names. Like once you reach that level of notoriety, it's such a grab. Like that's what it feels like. That's why I didn't cover any of it, and it's because I think I would just trash it, and I don't care how many subs he has. I don't want to trash any artist if I don't think they're making music for me. I don't think KSI has me and what I listen to as his target demographic when he makes a song. So there's no reason for me to trash it because he doesn't give a like. Why would he give a fuck? I'm not the person that he's writing for. If I write a
he does
rap,
give a fuck. He does. That's the thing. Like he does reactions to people who dislike his music.
I don't know. Like if I put out a rap and the Amish community tells me that it's trash, like what the fuck do I care? I'm not writing.
I would 100% care if the Amish community, which does not use technology beyond the 1840s, finds your music and calls it trash because they are violating all of their laws to tell you that they hate you. So I would be terrified. Like I would be fucking terrified if the Amish were coming after me.
All right, moving on. What's the song that's gotten you through the hardest times?
I mean, I'm not sure actually, as far as that's concerned. Off the top of my head, I mean, I had a lot of tough times in college where I would fall back on the nostalgia of Blink-182. So maybe that punk. I mean, and that's probably why I really dig what. Like, I wasn't being facetious when I said that Machine Gun Kelly really taps into that nostalgia Blink vibe. I do think that there is some magic in that. So I think that music helped me a bit. I think as far as like on the cool side, I can brag about Trombone Shorty's Hurricane Season really helps. It's beautifully done. It's very popular.
Never heard of any of those words that you just said.
I'm So New Orleans by Kermit Ruffins as well has helped a lot. Mac Miller's Good AM album.
I don't listen. I'll take your word for it. I have no idea.
Oh, well, okay. Well, that one then as well. And then as far as just, I mean, I'm trying to think of any that's helped me recently. I don't know. I haven't really turned the Hamilton mixtape. Like, or not the Hamilton mixtape. The Hamilton Broadway show.
Let's get it. Let's get it more narrowed down. Are you in a relationship right now?
Yeah.
All right. Might not want to go this route then. How long has it been since you've been heartbroken?
Well, I've been dating her for 3 years, so at least not that long. Heartbroken? I mean, probably college when, you're just in your early 20s and shit.
I don't know how old you are. How long ago was that for you?
8.
You're broken up. You're broken up. I can't hear anything you're saying. Go.
I'm 28, so probably like 6 or 7 years ago.
All right. What's your go-to breakup song?
Weed.
Just the sound of it burning.
The sound of weed burning, man.
You know, breakup playlist you go to?
Shit, I don't fucking know. I mean, like, I don't know. Vanessa Carlton, making my way downtown. That'll sure help. Avril Lavigne. There you go.
I'll support Avril Lavigne to the day that I die. All right.
I don't have a heartbreak track, I guess what I'm trying to say. But shout out Avril Lavigne in South Africa.
Shout out to RK significant other. You know how dope you got to be for your significant other to not even have like a backup like playlist ready to go just in case? Like that's thorough as shit. That's good. Shout out to them.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Well, my girlfriend's pretty awesome. She's going to school to be a pastry chef. So as the stoner in me is incredibly excited to live with someone who's going to make cupcakes for a living.
Well, there goes your fucking P90X out the window.
No, it's so I can eat cupcakes.
All right, mainstream battle that you would want to see right now.
Mainstream battle that I want to see. M versus anyone.
Really? But pick somebody then.
Okay, well then, if I have to actually pick someone, then I'm not going to pick M, because I think M wins, and I don't want to pick anyone else. Let's see.
Really? Who do you think won between him and Machine Gun Kelly?
M, not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close. Not even close. Rap Devil was. I mean, he spent way too much time complimenting M in a diss.
This would be so. I would love for the opportunity. You said like when we talk about like projects that we get together on and stuff like that, I couldn't disagree more. I think Eminem was trash in that
In Kill Shot?
leg shot, wasn't it called leg shot?
No, that would have been funny though. Kill
Like,
Shot.
foot shot. It was something really weak, and I like that was actually I didn't even like Machine Gun Kelly at the time. That was my first time hearing him, and I heard the Rap Devil and I was like, it's a bop, but it's not like a great diss track. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all right. And then I heard fucking Leg Shot, and I was like, yo, this is garbage. This is like really bad.
I
So
can
like,
tell you keep calling it Leg Shot.
yeah, I didn't like it at all.
Respectful.
I'm a battle rapper. Like, you got like
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I agree that Kill Shot was not his best. Dude, like when it came out, I even said I expected more from Eminem. That being said, I still think it was infinitely better than Rap Devil.
I don't want to turn this into a review because this is something I would like to talk with you out on a different platform, whether it's like a video just about that or the podcast or something.
Also, it's like multiple years old. We don't need to rehash that at this point.
Well, no, I like as a battle rapper, I like so this is I'm about to hit 100,000 views on my channel, so I'm at like 96,000 views right now. This week I'll probably take me another 2 or 3 days, just to get past that to get to 100K. For my 100K event, I'm gonna put out a video where I go over my top 5 diss tracks of all time, and then I'm gonna have everybody tell me what their top 5 diss tracks are, and we're gonna review the ones that I haven't heard throughout the next couple weeks.
I think I'd like Hobson versus. I think Hobson versus Dizzy Wright could be cool. Only because I feel like that could get personal real quick. You know what? I'd like Hobson.
Dizzy, I don't even know if Dizzy like has bars like that though. Like he makes more vibe music.
Oh, as far as like a good battle is concerned, I think I'd like Hobson versus Crooked Eye.
I think Crook bodies him, but yeah, I would.
I don't know if Crooked body. I mean, Hobson's dope. Like when Hobson turns it on, he turns it on.
That's the problem, is that he doesn't always turn it on. I'm a huge Hobson fan. I love the shit out of Hobson.
But I think he would turn it on for a battle. Is my point.
I hope so. I mean, I listen to Hobson infinitely more than I listen to Crooked Eye. I think I only have like 1 or 2 Crooked Eye songs that I bang regularly, whereas Hobson has like probably 8 to 10 that I really like. And then I still don't think like he plays around too much. Like his style where he throws in like the corny line here and there to get people to laugh and stuff like that. Like for me, that would lose the battle instantly. The second he says some dumb shit about I'm gonna go jerk off when I'm done to, you know what I mean? Like he puts that in all of his fucking raps. Like that would kill it for me in a battle. Whereas if Crook went out of his way to go at somebody, like you're about to get some hard body shit out of that. You know what I'm saying? My opinion.
You think Tyler could bring it?
Yes.
Or you think he'd be too like with the random shit that you just said that if Hobson did?
You're killing me. I'm very biased a Tyler the Creator fan.
I think he's one of the most talented hip hop artists alive at this point in time. So I agree with you.
This will be my hot take. All right, and this is how I'll leave that. Hobson, Crooked Eye, and Tyler the Creator, all at 100%. Tyler takes it.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. I think it's anyone's game. But I'm not going to disagree with you only because I do think that Tyler has been a little bit more open with his external genre influence and education. So I think he might have a bit more expansive mind when it comes to music and can play on language and sound possibly a little better than them.
I don't know that anybody that listens to a battle other than you is going to agree with that being a factor into why they win.
Is it-
It's actually one of the reasons I like listening to you is because I've never heard anybody take that approach. You know what I mean? Like I've never heard someone listen to something and be like, I like the way he uses his voice right there and how he goes from a high tone to a low, like, you know what I mean? Like I've never heard anybody do that before. I don't see that mainstream being a factor that everybody says why somebody took a battle. I think it comes down to just bars. In my opinion, when I
and delivery. I mean, and delivery. You can have the hottest bars and deliver like shit.
I don't think either of them are touching crook on delivery though.
Okay, like here's my example though. I think Daylight is the most talented lyricist alive. If not the, he's close.
Okay.
His delivery sometimes gives me migraines because like I just can't get through his tracks. Like I think he sometimes just forgets the beat. Like sometimes the way he's rapping, it's almost
so how is that good lyricism?
Because I'm talking about the words he's saying, not the delivery.
This is for a different situation. I'm gonna get way.
I'm talking about if you remove the beat and he's just speaking them, those bars will devastate you.
Okay. RK Gold, ladies and gentlemen. Daylight is the #1 lyricist alive.
Arguably. I mean, I will say this. I think King Los gives him a run for his money. Like, I personally think King Los is the most talented artist making music at this point. I think he's #1 in just about every category. I think lyricism, you get some interesting debates. But I think King Los brings it all while at the same time having that pop appeal.
All right. You can shout out any fan you want. Go.
I'm not going to fucking do that. Shit, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, and I'm not going to pick one. I'll shout you out.
Hey, do you have like a guilty pleasure artist? Someone that you know is trash, but you'll listen to no matter what?
Let me take a look at who I'm listening to lately and let you know in a second. You know who I actually like, who I think is kind of no, because I don't want to call him trash. Actually, I don't know. What?
You're so nice.
No, I'm not nice. Like, there are a lot of trash artists out there who I'll call trash. I think Lil Pump is trash, and like I'm not gonna listen to him. That's also not a brave take. I think Tekashi 6ix9ine is trash and a rapist, or like a child rapist. So
that went left fast.
well, didn't he go? Didn't he get in trouble for statutory rape?
No, he got in trouble because he was shooting a video. And the people that he was with brought in a girl who was underage and went topless.
My bad. He's not a rapist. I take that back.
As far as I know, I don't listen to him or follow. I read the news articles. You know what I'm saying? So like there could be layers and layers and layers to shit that I don't know. But my understanding is that was not what people were making it out to be.
Fair enough. Okay, I take that one back then. Still think he's trash with music.
That's fair. That's public record.
so as far as like guilty pleasure artists though, I'm really struggling.
You're breaking up.
Artists.
You're breaking up.
I don't think I listen to too many guilty pleasure artists. I mean, I'm going through who I've listened to outside of YouTube the past week, and it's been Redman, Pink Floyd, Graydon Square, Dr. John.
That would have been so great if you said Graydon.
What?
If you would have said Gray.
I did.
No. As your guilty pleasure artist.
Oh yeah, that would have been bad. I mean, fuck. Like, I've been listening to a lot of MF Doom lately. I've been listening. I've had Vaudevillain on repeat a couple of times. You know what? You know who's a guilty pleasure that I listen to? Third Eye Blind.
That is my favorite band of all time. We just become best friends.
Absolutely. I mean, they only have 2 songs, but I listen to them.
That's not even close to true. But,
I know it's not even close to 2, but you know
they
what I
have
mean.
more than 2 hit songs just off their self-entitled album.
Look, I was joking because obviously I was just talking about Jumper and Semi-Charmed Life.
Right, but those are like not even the best songs on the album. Narcolepsy is infinitely better than both of them. All right, I'm not
Nothing,
getting
nothing is better than Jumper.
Really?
I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend.
We're not turning this into a karaoke.
Cut time. Stall the line.
Battle rapper.
Favorite battle rapper. I'm not that educated in battle rap, so I'm not too sure.
I got that when you said that leg shot was dope.
So I'm not too sure who my favorite battle rapper is actually. I can't really think of too many.
Okay. I don't have any more questions. That's everything. Is there anything you wanted to go over before we end it?
Nah, had a lot of fun. Always happy to collaborate with you.
Yeah, Jake's taking the time to do this.
How about you? What are some what's a guilty pleasure listen for you?
I've watched every episode of Glee 6 times, and I will go back and
Guilty pleasure song. I was under the impression of like artists. I mean,
So I'll listen to Blaine from Glee do cough syrup and like burst into tears every time.
Okay, yeah, you're right. That's a stop. I can't touch that guilty pleasure. you got me whooped. I mean, my guilty pleasure is Third Eye Blind.
Yeah, nah, like
sounds like isn't even a guilty pleasure.
Nah, it's just a good band. And I
have a guilty pleasure for you.
Go ahead.
Legally Blonde, the movie.
Also dope. Underrated. I'll say underrated. Outside of the circle of people who like it, I think it's vastly underrated. I think it's good enough to be up there, like right below Princess Bride in terms of like guilty pleasure stuff.
Oh, Princess Bride's just it's just arguably one of the perfect fairy tales movies. So I would agree to an extent. I would say then Princess Diaries is gets into that guilty pleasure realm for people, that nostalgia realm, and what was it? Devil Wears Prada.
Okay.
I love Devil Wears Prada.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I don't think I've seen Princess Diaries or Devil Wears Prada.
Are you familiar with Devil Wears Prada at least?
Yeah, I'm familiar. I know the girl works for, I think it's Meryl Streep.
Yeah, Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, and Blunt. I'm sorry, I'm a little sober, so Blunt made me laugh.
It's weirder when they're sober.
Yeah, and the guy from Entourage, he's in it. He's the boyfriend in it. Oh, and Stanley Tucci. I love that movie.
I have no opinion on it. I don't think I've seen it. If I did,
movies are one of my big things. Like if I wasn't doing music reactions, I'd be doing movie reviews.
I don't watch enough movies. Like I used to when I was younger. In the last 5 years, I could probably count on one hand the number of new movies I've seen.
One of the reasons my girlfriend and I go so well together, for the most part, is we both just love movies, and we both have AMC stubs. So when the world's not ending, we just go to the movie theater constantly.
That's dope. What does she listen to?
She listens to a lot of stuff. I mean, honestly, when her headphones are in, she's more likely listening to a true crime podcast than music.
So, guys, this is a rest in peace for RK Gold one day.
Dude, she gets so that I keep saying that to her jokingly.
There you go. You're back.
She gets so insecure that I say that to her. She's just like, God, Ari, I'm not gonna kill you. And the fact we have to have these conversations is, I'm gonna go with funny for now. They're funny until they're not.
It's the new norm, though. It's not just her. There's all these women across the world right now. These death podcasts and shit like that are popping up and blowing up. We're all fucked, as far as I'm concerned.
It does seem like that they attract more women than men. I mean, a lot of the hosts are women. A lot of the memes are women listening to them. It does feel like the overall demographics for true crime interest is women.
Yeah.
I know there are men.
Men are way more killable than women are. That's why. I've never wanted to like kill a woman. You know what I mean? Like I've wanted to kill dudes.
I mean, I can say most people, I think it's great when you can make it through life not wanting to kill someone, so I'm proud of you.
I didn't say someone, I said women.
Fair.
I'll take it. All right, I'm going to conclude on that note. Guys, don't hit women. Well, if that's the only takeaway from the interview, I consider it successful. Look at that, hour and 30 minutes, just about on the dot. Anything sign offs? Anybody want to shout out or anything like that?
Nah, thanks for having me on, man. Shout out SteveBussaGS in South Africa.
Hey, shout out to South Africa. All right, guys, I will catch you on the next one. We have upcoming interviews with Cakes Mitchell, with Nick D, with Sky Daddy. I have a couple surprises that are coming up. If you guys like this series, do me a favor. Drop a comment. Let me know that you liked it. Let me know that this is something you guys want to see more content of. If I don't get a good feedback on this, then it's going to be longer. Like, I have to wait until our fan base gets larger, that people start caring about the interviews. If you do want to see more like this, hit the like button. Run the gauntlet for me, baby. Hit like, share, comment. Join the Discord in the description below. And I'll catch you on the next one.